Hey guys, thank you guys for listening to me. 'Cause that's right, I assume that you're going to listen to everything that I have to say because definitely it's worth it. I'm going to be talking about some game changers today in this video, and you definitely need to like this page, share it because you don't want to keep all the information to yourself. Your friends will love you for sharing this information with them. So let me get right into it. Let's talk about FHA. Now, I don't know if you've heard this before, I'm pretty sure you have, but let's tell you what FHA stands for. That's Federal Housing Administration. And this program has helped many people on their journey of becoming an investor. So I'm going to talk about a lot of things in this video, but I said being an investor. Many people think that FHA is just kind of like a one-time loan, and that's far from the truth. You can use FHA as many times as you like. You do not have to be a first-time home buyer, even though you hear a lot of first-home buyers using this program, but you can definitely buy your second home, your third home, or your fourth home, fifth, sixth. You can just keep going with FHA. But the caveat is that if you're going to buy this house and you want to definitely rent it out, you definitely need to occupy that home for a year. And a lot of people do that. They'll buy a home with a minimal down payment because FHA has a minimum down payment requirement of 3.5%. That's another gem when it comes to the FHA program, because no matter if you're a first time buyer, second, third, fourth, the minimum down payment is only going to be 3.5%, which is huge, right? So, and another game changer with FHA that is huge is that with mortgage insurance, because that is required, and we're talking about a lot of different things in this video, so you just got to follow me because you got to watch the whole thing to get all the information. Mortgage insurance, if you make a minimum down payment, will be required for the life of the loan. But if you make a down payment of at least 10%, then on the 11th year, that mortgage insurance goes away. And a lot of people think, regardless of the down payment, that you're stuck with the mortgage insurance for the life of the loan, and that's simply not true. So if you put down 10%, guess what? That mortgage insurance is gonna fall off on that 11th year. So I just think that it's just awesome news. Like, I'm super pumped. Like, who wouldn't use it? And again, FHA has really, really low rates comparatively to other programs. And I tell everyone, there's really no difference between an FHA loan and a conventional loan. They're both money. They both spend the same. It's really the person looking at the offer. And a lot of times the people looking at the offer don't have the up-to-date information about FHA. Another reason why you need to share this video with someone, because they need to know that FHA is a good loan. So let's talk about that minimum down payment. Because, remember, I'm kind of bounced around this one. I'm excited. So if you're going to purchase a home for $100,000, 3.5% would be $3,500. 200,000, 7,000, and so on. So it's really, really affordable. And another neat thing about FHA that I absolutely love is that that down payment can come from several sources. So if you have family, and I'm going to say that's not a cousin, they can gift you your down payment, your escrow, and your closing costs. So a lot of people say families first. Well, your family would definitely be first if they're going to gift you the down payment for your new home. Also, if you're going to buy a family home, that family can actually gift you your down payment, escrow, and closing costs. So that's another win. But let's just say you don't have the family there that would be willing to give it, or the family that is willing to give it is a cousin, because FHA says cousins don't count. I don't know how they came up with that, but you can use down payment assistance. And the beautiful thing about FHA is you can receive down payment assistance with a credit score as low as 580. And you're going to say, wow, that's pretty low. So lenders who do that are going to be lenders that do not have any overlays. I'm that type of lender. I guess I should probably introduce myself, right? You guys are probably wondering, who is Charmaine and how can she talk about all of this stuff? So I am a Vice President of Gold Financial Services, and I tell everyone to kiss wealth now. So if you've watched my videos, you've definitely heard that a lot. I tell everyone to kiss wealth now because I think it's so important. And I've been doing this for 27 years, but also another tidbit that definitely allows me to speak on FHA loans that I actually received my direct endorsement, my DE from FHA over 20 years ago. So I definitely do desk underwrite every single loan to make sure when I issue those loan approvals that you're definitely going straight to closing. That's real key, okay? So enough about me. You definitely can Google me, do some research, or just subscribe to my page because I definitely give good information every single day that you can use, right? Hopefully. Okay, so down payment assistance down to a 580 credit score. That means that you can receive, in some instances, up to 5%, sometimes even 10%. I actually helped a family right before Christmas get $40,000 in down payment assistance. She was a single mom with a couple of kids, and that was their Christmas present. And I just thought that was just so fabulous. That definitely are the moments that I definitely love throughout my career, hearing those stories where we're able to definitely be a game changer in someone's wealth. Because again, we want to help families create that generational wealth. If that's what you want, that's what we're here for. So let's get back into FHA again. So FHA, we talked about the cash, right? We can get down payment assistance, we can get a gift. And again, I'm gonna throw out this other game changer. I repeated it earlier. Mortgage insurance does not stay on the life of the loan if you put down 10%. But let's talk about your character. Another word for that is called, credit, right? So I think character sounds better because when you talk about credit, people get nervous. But the beautiful thing about FHA, when it comes to credit, you can have no FICO score. Isn't that huge? A lot of people don't know this. So if you are a person who does not use credit, that's just not your thing. You pay, I hate to use cash because cash is not allowed with the mortgage. I'm gonna talk about that later. But if you are a person who just pays for everything and does not have credit, as long as we can verify your non-traditional credit, which would be that you paid your rent on time, you paid your light bill on time, you paid your phone bill on time, you paid your car insurance, you definitely have to have some type of marker or a stamp that shows that you do pay your obligations when they come due. So you just can't have a no score and have nothing. We got to be able to document that you actually can manage a household. That's the operative word, manage that household. So as long as with a no score, we can prove that you can manage a household, you can get an FHA loan. That's huge. So if you do have a FICO score though, with FHA, your FICO score can be as low as 500. That's awesome, right? And I've closed people all the time with a 500 credit score because FHA says if your credit score is from a 500 to a 579, the down payment is going to be 10%. So I'll give you some examples of how I've helped many families close with a 500 credit score. So a family who is actually utilizing gift of equity, meaning that someone in the family says, hey, I want you to have this family home, and they're going to gift them the equity of 10%. Or you have families who actually are saving in their 401k, their Roths, their IRAs, and they pull the funds from those type of accounts. Or another option would be their own savings. It's hard to get I don't want to say a down payment assistance program, but it's really hard to get a down payment assistance program. It's really going to be your own funds. You can get a gift, or some type of savings. But again, it's a great, or I skipped over one of them. If you own a property already and you're going to sell that property and you want to use the proceeds from that property to purchase a new one. How about that? Those are a lot of options for someone with that 500 credit score. But again, 500 to 579, that is a great option for you if you're trying to buy a home, meaning that FHA program, because it will allow you to get into that home. And the loan limits with FHA, I mean, they've gone up, right? It's awesome, So the floor is, I'm cheating because I'm talking about a lot. So the floor is 420,680, and the floor is 65%, of the median housing prices for, that's how FHA comes up with that magic number. And then of course the ceiling can be up to 150% of the median housing prices, and that would be over 900,000. Okay, so and that's going to be in areas that have what's called high closing costs. The prices are very, very high, like Hawaii, for example. So another beautiful thing with FHA, and again, you guys, you just got to follow me to watch this video because I'm so excited. The beautiful thing about FHA is that you can purchase more than one unit. So you can purchase a single family, duplex, triplex, or even a fourplex, and actually live in one portion and rent out the other units and actually have rental income and help you on that investment piece. But let me go ahead and go back to where I was at, right? Because I don't want to lose y'all. So 500 to 579, 10% down. 580 and above, only 3.5% down. So we definitely have you covered with the FHA program. So now let's get back to the credit piece, okay? So with credit or character, you can have many types of credit instances that you may have encountered over your credit life. So if you have had a bankruptcy, that is okay with FHA. If you've had a foreclosure, that's okay with FHA. If you have a judgment, that's okay with FHA. If you actually have federal debt that you owe, that's okay with FHA. Now, of course, there's caveats with everything, but that's why you need to talk with a mortgage professional like myself, and we can definitely walk you through if you're eligible to purchase another home with FHA if you've had a foreclosure, if you're eligible to purchase while you're in a bankruptcy or you're out of a bankruptcy, if you're able to purchase with a judgment, a collection. Again, FHA is very lenient when it comes to credit, and you want to work with a lender that does not have any overlays, like myself, right? So let's talk about capability, because when you get a mortgage, you got to be able to pay it back. So you can have passive income and get a mortgage. So you can have income from child support, income from a divorce. You could be a wage earner. You could be an hourly worker. You can be self-employed, and you can get an FHA loan. The thing about with your income with FHA is we have to document it. So if you have income that cannot be documented, meaning you're not paying taxes on it, or it's not coming from a source where it's going to show that you have received it and you're going to continue to receive it for at least 3 years, we would not be able to use it. So if you're thinking about purchasing and you have a business and you haven't reported it, you definitely need to start reporting it so that income can be considered and help you with your buying power, because you want to be able to purchase what you can on paper afford, and of course what you're going to want to pay for, because you got to pay it back, right? That's so important. So now the collateral, FHA does not limit you on the collateral, meaning that you can purchase a stick-built home, which is just a standard home, but you could also purchase a modular home. You can purchase a manufactured home. You can purchase a townhome. You can purchase a condo. But one thing about townhomes and condos, there are some additional guidelines to that. And again, you need to talk with a mortgage professional, but you definitely want to look and make sure if that unit is within a managed HOA, that complex, those units are actually on FHA's approved condominium list. And if they're not, then you can ask them if they're willing to get on the approved list. And there's some things that they have to do to stay updated and current. And I'm not going to go into that in this video. But hopefully so far, you've heard some really neat things. Again, the high points, because I want to kind of cap on those again, is that you can buy a home with FHA with a credit score as low as 500. And with that credit, with any credit score, or even no score, right? You can buy a home with no score or a credit score of 500. So the sky's the limit. And your credit can have credit blemishes. That means you can buy a home with a history of bankruptcy, with a history of foreclosure, with a judgment, owing federal debt, with collections. Oh, and I forgot one, late pays. You can even have late pays and purchase a home utilizing FHA. So those are some awesome highlights. Also, mortgage insurance does not stay on the loan for the life of the loan if you make a down payment of at least 10%. And if you make a down payment of 10%, that mortgage insurance will fall off after the 11th year. But if you make a purchase utilizing FHA and you make a minimal down payment of 3.5%, then the mortgage insurance does stay on the loan for the life of the loan. And that can be seen as a con, okay? And excuse me, and of course a pro is being able to purchase with a credit score with no credit score or a credit score as low as 500. Also, another benefit is that you can use FHA in your investment journey. Now, you cannot utilize FHA to purchase a investment property out the gate, meaning you're going to purchase it and make an investment property day one. You have to actually live in the property for a year. But after you live in that property for a year, then yes, you can turn that property into investment. But if you're initially out the gate want to start investing, then you definitely need to look into buying a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex, because you can live in one unit. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat. You can live in that one unit, and then you can actually rent out the other units and use that rental income from those other units to pay your mortgage. Like, that's huge, right? A lot of people don't know that. So that's a way to kind of break into investing initially with FHA. Again, you have to buy a multi-unit property, meaning that you have several units in one building. They have separate entry doors. And then therefore you can rent out those other units. So lots of good information here. I mean, huge. So there's no reason why you cannot purchase a property. Okay, again, I'll repeat that again. There's no reason why you cannot purchase a property if you would like to, because you definitely need to get with a mortgage professional. I'm going to point to me again. I'm sitting right here, that is willing to give you the tools to help you purchase your dream home. And again, we're a lender that does not have overlays. And once we get you qualified, you definitely need to be working with a real estate professional. That real estate professional is going to help you find a home that you can qualify for within your budget, within your buying power, and that home definitely needs to be in good condition. FHA does not allow for anything that would affect the habitability of the home. So you can't be looking, and this is for a standard, what's called a 203B. I'm not talking about a rehab property, which would be a 203K. And I'm going to talk about both of those here real quickly. So with a 203B, it would be a home that, again, does not have anything that would affect the habitability of the home. That means that the roof would be good. If it wasn't good, the seller would be making those repairs. The AC works, especially, I live in Texas. That's like a requirement. You got to have AC, right? You got to have cooling. And also the heat has to work during the winter months. Also, you can't have any broken glass, any holes in the wall that a fist could go through, no exposed wiring, really meaning that home really needs to be turnkey. And especially because with this program allowing for those lower credit scores, you may not have a history of saving. So when you move into that home, making that mortgage payment is going to be something that you are habitually going to do, and maybe savings is something that would be hard, okay? So that's why FHA wants you to move into a home that has a life expectancy to match the mortgage. So if you're getting a 30-year mortgage, the life expectancy of that property needs to be for 30 years. Now, if you have better credit scores, you do have people who utilize the 203K loan, and the 203K loan allows you to rehab a property. So it would allow you to gut a home out and redo it. It would allow you to put appliances in if that's what you wanted to do, new roof, pool, and so you name it. And typically with that program, you have to have at least a 660 or better credit score. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because, again, if that's something that you, and I apologize, I have this frog in my throat. If that's something that you're wanting to entertain, you definitely need to talk to a mortgage professional like myself. So I think this frog in my throat is telling me that I've done enough talking for right now anyways. And if you want to get more information, you can contact me, Charlamagne Armstrong. My phone number is 214-738-4913. My email address, if you want to email me, is carmstrong@gold financial.com. And then if you would like to subscribe to a lot of my channels, so on YouTube, it's just Charlamagne Armstrong, and very easy, please click, like, subscribe. On Facebook, my page is Charlamagne Armstrong, as well as I have a Kiss Wealth Now page. Both of those pages, all of the pages actually get updated daily with information. I'm on Instagram under Charlamagne Armstrong. I'm on Twitter under Charlamagne Armstrong. I'm on TikTok under Charlamagne Armstrong. So wherever you are going to get your social media at, I'm there, I promise. And definitely you will have fun tuning in to my page. So I pray that you've got something from this video, and definitely give me information besides the frog in my throat. I know it's there. So y'all have a blessed day, and I pray that I get a chance to talk to you soon. Bye.